Namaste Program Mules, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, Bush Trip, Australian Southeastern, Tour Does, Leg 3, Mount Beauty to Mansfield, let's go. Alright, let's get going. Say goodbye to this interesting shed. Come on, why won't the brakes come off? There we go. Let's hope we have enough room to take off. There's a big hill in the road. Where's our first direction? 24. Okay, fair enough. Leave it till as late as possible. Here we go. Up we go. We need to turn pretty much immediately. Oh, it's a levee on the lake. Come on, plane. Come on, plane. What do I want? 247. Hello, little Mount. Where were we? Mount Beauty? Mount Beauty, little town. You beauty. Right, 247 for 8:24. Probably should start the clock. There we go. Mount Buffalo National Park. Let's hope we can get enough height here. I don't know that we're going to be able to. Let's actually get a bit of speed. The game's really not running that well since the new update, but we'll allow it. We'll have to go over to the left here a little bit. Mount Buffalo National Park, once in the air again, head west-southwest, passing over Owens River to Mount Buffalo National Park, a location renowned for its sheer rock faces, sheer rock faces, and granite peaks. I don't think we're going to be able to get enough height quick enough to get over this hill here. In fact, I'm going to turn this way then, just to make sure there's nothing in the road. Let's actually I guess circle around a bit, gain a bit of height first. Yet again, we have the wrong plane for the business. Let's actually drop down a bit, get more speed. Alright, visit the town again. Hello, you thought we'd left, but no, we've come back. In fact, we're going to have to restart the clock. There we go. Now we've got a bit of speed. We can... trim... Oh, the trimming is so messed up. There we go. That'll do. Try and get a bit more height. Let's reset the clock. Another 8 minutes 24. We should be high enough now. Hopefully. Let's see. 247. Actually do our mixture as well. Come on. What's going on here? It's crazy. No, it doesn't want to go. There we go. Into the green. That'll do. Let's hope we're going to make it over this mountain now. Is that a mountain over the other side? What's going on there? Yeah, okay, parallax. I think we're good. I think we're just going to make it. Then there's going to be a bigger mountain in the road, unless it's quite a fair bit away. I think it is. It's a fair bit away. We should be Gucci. Are we going to make it? Yes, I think. No way we could have done that from takeoff though. Thank you, Bush Trip Designer. Did you not even test it with this aeroplane? Or is there some magic trick to get an aeroplane to climb quicker that I don't know of? No, we're not going to make this one. It is further closer than I thought it was. But we'll be able to go around it at least. suppose I could put the flaps down, that would have helped with climbing. Still don't think it would have been enough, but excuse me. Alright, I'm going to have to skirt around this particular mountain. You are too tall for us, I'm afraid to say. Thank you, mountain. With all your trees. Look at this view though. Great. Great. There we go, enough climbing. .247, we've done 3 minutes. Yeah, where would this national park be? What would be the delineation for that? Game. This new update is not healthy at all. But nothing else running except for OBS. It was having some, what I thought were crashes while it was loading, but it did actually eventually load. It's having issues. The old Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm just going to have to put up with them, I'm afraid. We'll just assume that, you know, Professor X was freezing time briefly. That'll be the canon. And Bali with its little towns and whatnot. Ooh, it's cute. Marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Alright, we've done 4.5 minutes of 8.5, so, you know, getting there. Hello, little peoples. You ants. What you doing, mate? What you doing? Farming. Is that what you doing? Farming, huh? That's what you said. That's what you said, but we all know you're some kind of Illuminati compound up here in the mountains where no one can see you. Are we high enough? Yes, we are. We are high enough. 5.5 minutes. What would be? It's just Mount Buffalo National Park. It's probably this whole thing. So we're just going to have to turn at 8.5 minutes and hope that that's roughly the right direction. In fact, it looks to me like the next couple of directions are still west, so we're going to need to get higher a bit again. There's more mountains in the road. Six minutes, 2 minutes to go. Where's this national park? Passing over Orange River, so maybe that's the landmark I'm looking for. Buffalo National Park. No, I think that must. We've already gone over a river. It doesn't suggest that we're headed to Orange River. It's suggesting we're passing over Orange River to the national park, renowned for sheer rock faces and granite peaks. Well, I mean that must be it over there, right? At least part of it. Why aren't we climbing? Wrong button. Come on, climb. You fucker, climb. 7 minutes. A river in this valley. And there kind of has to be, right? That's what a valley is, but not an obvious one. It has since dried up or gone underground. Oh, what's this river hiding that it's hiding? Farms all the way up into there. That's interesting. And then down all the way down there. Back into the main valley. Good stuff, people. Oh, there's another river. There's the river. Is that the Owens River? That's going to be about, well, just about hitting 747 of 824. Would I consider this? Maybe that's the Owens River and we're about to go up this track here. Almost looks like that might be a cable car or something like that. I don't know. Just a road up the mountain here. Maybe this is a ski resort in winter. I don't know. I've just hit 8 minutes 10. Let me give it to 8 minutes 20. We're already on the new trip course anyway. Next one's 2:42. Let's start the clock. I'm assuming we've made it to Mount Buffalo National Park. We're headed to Rose River for 5 minutes 43, 2:42. Maintain a west-southwest heading to the Rose River, which flows out of Mount Buffalo National Park. Okay, excellent. I'm following this track up the mountain here. Because we are kind of high enough, we probably could do 2:42. There we go. Just for the sake of it all, let's have a look at this mountain. I guess Mount Buffalo, where I feel fairly certain there are no buffalo. Not a single one. Well, there might be these days. We might have transplanted them, so I doubt. I doubt there is a single buffalo up here. Not even as a meme. Look at that view. What a beautiful view. Lovely. Very lovely. Where's this path going? A bunch of paths up here. They must be hiking tracks. I can't imagine they're particularly useful for driving. Who knows? Just the people who live here and travel here and happen to know. Excellent. I don't know that we need to be climbing anymore, so let's go down to, I don't know, 3 or 2%. Come on, you trim. Do it one press at a time. There we go. There we go. We're looking for the Rose River in about 2 minutes. 2 and a bit minutes. There's a river. Well, there's a lake over there. It's usually connected to a river. Never let it be said that Australia is flat, because it ain't. It is mostly flat, but there are a couple of mountains over here on this side. I don't know anything about the west of Australia. I'm gonna head there. We're doing the tour d'Oz. We're gonna do the entire country. At least try to. Who knows what the future holds? But for now, we're doing Canberra to Melbourne bush trip, and then we'll do Melbourne to Adelaide, and then the Whyalla to somewhere bush trip, and then across the Nullarbor Plain to WA. Where I'm very keen to have a look around because I don't know anything about it, never been there. There's also a final bush trip, I think, in the Kimberley, which is, I believe, northwestern Western Australia, but I'm not sure.
No, again, know nothing about it. Know nothing about it. Just vague things I may have picked up along the way. And my complete lack of geography knowledge. Alright, we've just hit 4 minutes. We're meant to do 4 minutes. Oh no, we're meant to do 5 minutes 43. Well, maybe this isn't the Rose River then. Maybe there's another one. We'll keep going then. I was reading the wrong line. Alas, he was reading the wrong line. Oh, I'm going down to 0%. Oh, if it'll let me. There we go. Right, not really. Because we're not going very fast, and we're still sort of climbing. So let's, I don't mind if we descend a bit now. We've got plenty of height. The mountains are a little bit lower here. There's a river there in that valley. What are we looking at? We've just hit 5 minutes. Well, okay, so that's river there. Is that the Rose River maybe? It's something cut through the forest here that's either a road or power lines or something. Let's give it another 20 seconds or so. We'll assume that this is the Rose River that flows out of the national park, it said. Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess that lake's part of the national park, and then here we go, we're actually following the Rose River this way. So, yeah, who knows where we're meant to actually start turning. Except that we've just hit 5 minutes 43, so now we want 2:57 for 4:48. .257, we're following this cut through the forest. Powers Lookout Scenic Reserve. To the west is Powers Lookout Scenic Reserve, home of Powers Lookout. Really? A mountain that stands over Australia's King Valley, offering incredible vistas. Never heard of any of these. None of it. Let's just see how beautiful these vistas are. I'm already seeing it, right? This must be the King Valley out here. Never heard of the King Valley, or have I? No, I've heard of Kangaroo Valley. That's further north. That's back in New South. Well, it's still in New South Wales, I think. But actually, I don't know. At some point, we must be crossing over into Victoria soon enough. Are we already in Victoria? I actually don't know. Sorry for the voice breaking. Yeah, apparently I'm 15. And also I've got a frog in my throat. The old frog in the throat. So is this a road? It doesn't look like a road. I think it might be power lines, or again it could be a fire break. I don't really feel like they're wide enough to be fire breaks, but maybe they are. Maybe it's just some weird algorithm thing. No, it's definitely a road, because the road becomes a road here, so at the very least it's a track that you can drive through. Wow. Let's see, we've done 2 minutes of 4:48, so I don't know where the actual Powers Lookout would be. It's a mountain somewhere here, apparently. Really heading towards a mountain right now, though. That's the only thing. Actually, I feel like Kosciuszko is very close to the border, so we must be at Victoria. We're miles from Kosciuszko now. That was a couple of... it was yesterday, was it? We did that? And Mansfield, where we're headed, definitely rings a bell as being Victoria. calling it. We've crossed over into Victoria. Glory to us. Glory be. Maybe this is the lookout here. This looks like there's some paths up here. Maybe there's a little building on top. It would definitely be looking out over this valley, which I'm guessing is the King's Valley. There's a pyramid over there, obviously. You know, the aliens have built a pyramid up here in these Alps as well. Every Alps would manage to find a pyramid or an upside-down mountain, which are indicative of spacecraft that have been hidden. That we know. That we've established beyond all doubt along our big journey from France so far. Well, in fact, in the French bush trips, the American bush trips, all those other bush trips that we've done. Is that an airport on top of that mountain? You could almost land there if it wasn't. That would be a hell of a place to put a runway. Yeah, what's going on here? Is it like an adventure park or something? Looks like there's little, I don't know, tracks or something. Maybe they've got toboggans, or maybe it's a ski run in the winter. It's out it though. It doesn't really look like it would get much snow here. Maybe not. I don't know. Don't know much about it. That must be the lookout though, because we're at 4:20 of 4:48. Hello, Powers Lookout. Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. 4:40, we need 4:48, so it's time to turn. To 2:13. Reset our clock. For 3 minutes 10. Toombullop. Turn to the southwest and fly over the town of Toombullop. Is that a famous town? I've never heard of it. Or is this just randomly chosen? Oh, is that a... Maybe that's a lookout. Hang on, I wanted to see if... Is that a runway? Could almost be. Is that not a runway up there? Why are there fields up there? Why are there fields on the top of the mountain, huh? And what looks like might be... there's a strip of something there, a strip of grass that could very well be used as a runway if it's not even in fact a runway. It's not on the map, so it's not an official runway. Well, I want 213. If I'm not going 213, we're going to miss Toombullop. I don't see a town over here at all. We're lost. Alas, alack, we are lost. Alright, let's go back up to like 1%, maybe half of 1.5%. Hello, are you Toombullop over here? I think you might be. With your farms and your fields. If you are a town, there's not much to you. Oi, another plane. Oh, it went into the clouds. How dare it? How dare it go into the clouds? Well, Toombullop, I think this is, because we're 2.5 minutes of 3:10, so 40 seconds. We're not going to be getting much further through the air. So this must be the glorious town, in inverted commas, of Toombullop. There it is. There's the town right there. It's just a bar. It's an inn. It's a farmhouse. It's you can get a beer and a pie at. Famous Toombullop beer and pie deal. Maybe a chicken palmy. You can get chicken palmies in New South Wales, but really Victoria's where it's at. They're all about the chicken palmies. And that's just a farmhouse. I mean, is this... There is no town here. Tumbullop. You lie. You lie. Let's see, we've done more than enough time, so let's go 2:15 for 5:44. On our way to Mansfield. Continue on this course, flying over the foothills of the Australian Alps to the town of Mansfield. In fact, that really does mean go back to at least 0%. We want to lose some height now. We know how difficult it is to get this plane to actually fall out of the sky. It is basically a helium balloon. 5:44. We're looking for Mansfield. What heading am I supposed to be doing? 2:15. 2:15. There's some more buildings here. I guess there might be enough to call yourself a town. That might be part of Tumbullop as well. I don't know. I'm just trying to make Tumbullop feel better about itself. So I think, there's some more buildings over there. Who knows? Maybe this whole area is Tumbullop. Maybe one day it'll be a glittering a city full of skyscrapers and who knows what else. But where is Mansfield? The field of Mans. That's right, ladies. Are you looking for Mans? We have a field full of them, roaming free. There is a town over there, and I can see it. It's not rendered in properly yet, but it's got the right, it's looking like it's concrete on the ground, with roads and what have you. The distinctive colorization of it all. Still losing height, which is good, but I don't have any idea how high we are above the ground, because I don't know how high the ground is. We're doing it by ear. Actually, I lied yesterday when I said that there's no way of knowing the height. When you select your course and you select the airport to land at, I think it has the height there. I don't think, does the bush trip main page say? I don't think it says anything about there. It just says, Mount Beauty to Mansfield. It doesn't say anything about what kind of runway we've got, any of that stuff. I'll have to go back and look. Maybe I've been lying about not being able to. What is certainly true is I don't think there's any way of getting that information right now. I mean, maybe there is with the GPS. I don't know. I've never been trained on any of these. I've had to figure out how it works inside of the game. Didn't have any of this back when I was learning to fly. GPS systems didn't even exist yet. To the point where I was doing computer science with a guy where one of the lecturers was at the forefront of doing mapping technology that eventually got put into all of these map programs. So here, and he was basically saying it was going to be 50 years before we could even do it, but he was wrong about that, probably because of his own good work. Right, we definitely need to lose more height here. We're quite high up still. This is Mansfield. We've done nearly 4 minutes of 5:44. And the airport is 112 for 44 seconds from Mansfield. So it must be over to the left here somewhere. See if I can see the picture a bit better. It's a grass strip in amongst a bunch of fields. Great! Don't we love it? Well, it's going to be difficult to find in. That's fair enough. Anyway, let's get down to what we feel like is about 2,000, 1,500 feet. Somewhere around there. Let's actually sort of head into Mansfield as well, even though it's not quite heading on. We've got about a minute before we're meant to turn. can we see it? Is that it there? That is it there. There's this white thing. That's it right there. All right, well, we don't really need to be following the timings when we can see the runway. Let's just get down there. If we can actually get... Is that it? I think it is. Definitely it from the picture, but why is there a road down the middle of the runway? No, I guess the picture has that as well. It's just where planes have kicked up the dust and the dirt, I guess. That'll be my guess anyway. It's all guesswork today. Hello Mansfield, you've got a little racetrack. Yeah, is it? Is that what that is? Or is it just I think it's a little racetrack. Maybe it's camel racing. I don't think there's many camels up here in the mountains, but again, could very definitely be wrong. Alright, a bit of power. We're coming in a bit short, but otherwise looking pretty good. Sorry for the noise, people. I know you like it nice and peaceful up here. You chose a place away from the hustle and bustle of the big cities. There's quite a lot to you, Mansfield. Look at you. You've got a lot. And there's a cricket ground. Oh, look at you. Well, it's probably they play cricket, but it's an AFL ground. I'll bet they play the old AFL up here, especially if we're definitely in Victoria. Maybe that's where I know the main Mansfield from. I don't think, well, it's certainly not one of the main AFL teams, but maybe it's one of the VFL teams, and I would have heard of it. Not that I've ever really followed AFL, but when I lived in Melbourne, which I did for a couple of years, God help you if you don't show an interest in AFL. They will literally kick you out of the state. Every business meeting, social meeting, run into someone in the street with someone you've never met before has to start with a discussion of the footy. Otherwise, they just look at you weird. It's like, well, why are we talking about the footy? We've been talking for less than 2 seconds, and already you haven't talked about the footy? That's outrageous. Don't you know we just talk about the footy here? That's it. How about them sports ball teams? Alright, let's just cut the engine completely and float down a bit. We can always give it a bit more if we're not going to... I'm going to be too high again. I thought I was coming in perfectly there. And yet...
500.
And yet, this plane just loves to float. I'm going to have to do this the Rambo way. Like we did yesterday. Float a bit more. There we go. There we go. There's even some markings. Ooh, they managed to get some markings on this runway. Game. Please, game. Why? 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 Been playing this for what, 200 hours now, and there's been very few issues along the way, and suddenly an update is making it miserable. I don't like it. Fix it. Fix your game, Asobo. Welcome to Mansfield. Tomorrow's the last leg of this bush trip. I hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir. Goodbye.